Time is not running out for TikTok in the U.S., not at least yet. U.S. President Donald Trump has extended the window of time for TikTok to find a buyer, just hours before the current deadline was supposed to run out. He says the company now has another 75 days to find a new owner. The popular video sharing app could be shut down in the U.S. if it doesn't part ways with its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. Many in Washington believe the app is controlled by the Chinese government, and there is widespread concern about what it does with the data of its mostly young users. I'm now joined by Dennis-Kenji Kipker, an expert in cybersecurity and IT law, focusing on U.S. and Chinese digital policies. He serves as scientific director for the Cyberintelligence.institute in Frankfurt in Germany. Dennis, I think you're the right person to be here today, but why are we still today talking about the sale of TikTok? What's the main sticking point in negotiations?
Yeah, so this is really a hard case. So on the one hand, we are talking about billions of dollars that have to be spent. And on the other hand, the purchase of TikTok is a very ambivalent one. So the buyer is getting a powerful platform, a powerful tool, but one that is politically and technically very biased at the moment. And we are talking about the algorithm. We are talking about data protection concerns, even espionage, national security interests, and many uncertainties with an investment of worth billions. And in addition, economic and foreign policy in the United States has changed dramatically in the last 2 months since Donald Trump took office as the new US president. So the Chinese government is also keeping an eye on the circumstance on which TikTok will be sold. And last but not least, TikTok has millions of users in the US, clientele that even an incumbent US president does not want to upset.
Okay, I want to dive deeper into some of that, but first, at this point, who's the most likely buyer? Oracle, Amazon, the group owned by the giant content creator Mr. Beast? I mean, who is it at this point?
I guess we can only speculate about this. But because this is a hugely politically explosive issue, it won't be a single influencer, in my opinion. This is, in my opinion, just a PR coup. So we are talking about companies with enormous economic, political power that could seriously enter the race. And that could be, of course, Oracle or Amazon. And first and foremost, it can be assumed that it will be a company that also plans to supplement its economic portfolio with the sale. And Amazon, in my opinion, would be, beside Oracle, a good candidate here, as the sale of goods and social media advertising can be linked even better in the future.
Let's assume for a moment the ban effectively happens. Negotiations end without a buyer. Isn't it possible that users will simply find another app to their liking, which could very well be owned by the Chinese?
Yeah. Definitely. So as we have seen it in January, there were also rumors that the app wouldn't be functioning anymore in the US and that it would be banned out of the US stores. And finally, there were some other apps coming up very frequently in the United States. Users were already changing. So I guess we won't be able to solve this whole problem when we talk about digital sovereignty, digital privacy, because in a free market space, there will always be different companies following TikTok when there will be really a ban in the United States.
How likely is it that ByteDance would agree to sell TikTok's source code? Yeah,
so it is really to say ByteDance has to sell the app on one hand, and the legal foundations for this were already laid last year, except that the previous President Biden explicitly left the implementation to Donald Trump. But it's currently also the foreign policy disputes that are now making business more difficult, because this is not just about selling an app, it's about a trial of strength between China and the USA. And we see that technology has now become highly political, and this is more than evident in the TikTok case. So we can only, of course, speculate about this in the moment as well. I do not assume that TikTok will fully disclose the algorithm, as this is one of the app's crucial trade secrets.
We should mention, you advise governments. How can governments in the future guarantee their national security in a global open market?
Yeah, so governments will have to change their perception, definitely. 100% digital sovereignty won't be possible, but we need certain control. And this means, of course, platform regulation. And we need to identify disinformation. We need to find out which investors are standing behind a certain company. And also, we have to talk about user awareness. It's not just about the politician, it's also about the users using these apps, that they know that disinformation is currently being spread in a lot of different social networks all around the world. So it is a task where state authorities, the users itself, as a society, and of course, companies will have to work together to solve this problem.
So much more to discuss. We'll have to leave it there. That's Dr. Dennis-Kenji Kipker, expert in cybersecurity and IT law. Many thanks to you, sir.
Thank you.